Hello, hope everyone is good. This was a little video of the end of 2025. We're gonna close and end up this year talking about the project for next year because it's never ending project. 2026 will be mainly for maintenance of whatever we did till now. So maintenance of the stables, maintenance of the châtelet, maintenance of the gardens and the green space and reparation of the little thing that broke over the year. But also a bit more of restoration and renovation in the châtelet. Most of the work for this winter will actually be to organize the inside. We have now the heating system, electricity, plumbing. We need to put a kitchen, we need to put a library, we need to put the bathrooms, and we need to organize all of this inside and do the decoration. This is going to be probably the most fun part. We're going to go to Les Puces, we're going to buy some new furnitures, and we're going to choose the fabrics and decide what fabrics goes where. So this will be most of the winter work. Hopefully in June, July is going to be ready to host some people. So we're going to have 3 more bedrooms in the châtelet, plus the 3 here, plus eventually 2 bedrooms in the stable. It's going to be the house of the stable. We're trying to make it a bit sexy and appealing for the people to be happy to sleep in the stable. Because it's going to be complicated to convince my friends not to sleep inside of the castle and not to be offended if I tell them like, okay, you're going to be in the stables. Anyway, the second big project of 2026 will be the main house, the castle itself, the 17th century's house. The first plan is to start with the interior. Not the whole interior, of course. It's going to be the staircase, the kitchen downstairs, and also reinforcement of all the floors and a little bit of the frame too. Then, a year and a half after that, we're going to start the outside with roof, facade, windows, and this is going to be over the next probably 4 years. It's going to take 3 or 4 years for the outside to be done. But 2026 will be châtelet inside, maintenance of the site, plus beginning of the staircase, kitchen of the chateau. So I'm going to show you a bit of the plans, a bit of what we plan for the interior of the châtelet, and also the little ideas I saw with my architect for the chateau and where to put the bathroom and everything. So let's do some comments about it. So for the châtelet, I wanted to do inside something a bit authentic, but a bit modern with interpretation of my thoughts about the Middle Age. So can be a bit Disney maybe, but whatever, it's my taste, it's my house, I do whatever I want. For instance, the kitchen, my idea was to get a couple of details that was very like Gothic in a way, but not with the heaviness of the Gothic, especially on the new Gothic that we found on the 19th century. So the kitchen, as you see, I wanted to do a little corniche with this little trèfle, triple lobe, little flower like this, that's going to go down like this as a corniche. I found that pretty cute. I wanted to do that. And also all the doors, I wanted the shape inside to be not arched, but with an arch and a peak on top of it, the clé d'ogive. Very Gothic, because the cathedral, for instance, have that kind of a shape when it's Gothic one. The Roman one are round and the Gothic one have a little peak on top. I also found a gazinière, the oven and all from La Cornue. So they have different type of lines for the oven. La Cornue, they have cornufait. That is nice because it's not too expensive. It's expensive, but not crazy expensive. And I wanted to try La Cornue, this brand first, and to use it before buying the big one that will be for the castle. So I will buy the cornufait, which is the small from this brand. That was pretty expensive. And if it's good, and I like it, I will buy maybe, and I will start saving. So in 4 or 5 years, I can buy the big one for the house, and it's called Château, La Cornue Château. You can check online. It's really beautiful because it's made the same way oven and all this, the cooking piano was made in the 19th century, so it's interesting. Anyway, so this kitchen will be all painted in wood, all painted. I didn't want to do the wood color because this is the color I want to keep for the natural wood color. I want to keep it for the chateau. So I didn't want to repeat the styles everywhere. The idea was either a bit of a green, but I already have it in the pavilion. So it was maybe a sang de bœuf, is a beef blood, kind of a dark Bordeaux red. That's going to give something a bit gothic in a way. And the plan de travail will not be in stone. I wanted it in zinc or eventually in étain, this metal that looks very like authentic also, and I like in gray. So I like this mixity, but I was not sure about marble. So let's see what I choose. Let's see what you advise me to. For the library, same ideas as the kitchen, but I wanted something a bit more original. I love Biedermeier style, which is like a style from the end of the 19th century that was kind of Art Deco in a way in Northern European countries. And they love the use of the classic lines, but they remove everything that was not necessary. So it's a little bit Art Deco in a way. And they always use two kinds of wood, the citronnier, the lemon tree, and that is very yellow and light, and also black ebony. So I wanted maybe not to use ebony, but to use a darker wood that you will taint. But I wanted the codes of Gothic codes, but not in Gothic point of view, but through a Biedermeier point of view. So it's going to be very thin columns. The design is definitely Gothic, but the columns will be in black wood. The little arches will be in black wood too, and all the rest will be in citronnier and lemon tree, very yellow and very simple like this. And the corniche on top will be simple black wood too. So that was my idea. I was wondering if I should have done, like for the kitchen, the little corniche like this, but the way around, like a little crown with peaks and little flowers on top. But I was afraid it would be maybe too much. So I don't know what you think. And one of the panels will be opening to actually access the antique latrine, which is like the antique bathroom. Antique toilet, actually, just to access, not to use it. Of course, we're not going to pee in the library, but to actually see it for the visitors and to remember that here it was an antique toilet. So this is my plan for the châtelet. For the chateau, we decided to do a little change. I was supposed, when you arrive in the vestibule, in the entrance hall, on the right it was supposed to be the salle à manger, and after, further, is going to be the salon, the living room. But it was a bit bizarre, because when you have a party, you go to the salon first to have the cocktail, and then you arrive to the dining room. So it was bizarre to actually have to cross the dining room before arriving to the salon. And by the way, you only use this part of the house, and you don't use the staircase, and you don't use the rest of the house, which is a bit of a shame when you have a reception. You want to show off. So the idea was to have the vestibule entrance hall, to transform the two rooms on the right to keep them as salon, as living room. Is going to be like a music salon and maybe salon des quatre empereurs like it used to be before. And when it's time for dinner, there is a little bell ringing, and then everyone is crossing the vestibule, going up the escalier d'honneur, the stairs, and up accessing the little dining room that's going to be just on top of the first stairs. And this room is a bit less high ceiling than the others, so I was a bit disappointed to do the dining room there. But as Jacques Garcia told me, when you are having dinner, usually you are seated. And when seated, the ceiling is further, is more far. So it should be fine. I should not feel like pushed down because of the ceiling. So we wanted to do the dining room here. So the way actually for the whole evening is very like something more logical, more spontaneous and organic. So it's good because you arrive, you go on the salon, then you cross, you see the beautiful staircase, you actually use the staircase and you go to the dining room. And in terms of service, it's perfect because it's just on top of the kitchen. So it's going to be much easier to actually bring up the food from downstairs because it's just on top of it. On the first floor, that one was of the ideas of the architect. In my mind, it was more like a hotel room when you actually arrive a little SAS and you cross it and you arrive to the room and the bed is facing the two windows and the bathroom has no window. So I was pretty happy with that, and actually he offered a different proposition. As you can see, you have a little SAS with access to the toilet first. You get in the room, in the bedroom there is only one window, and you access the bathroom, and the bathroom has one window too. There is no shower, there is just a bath, and the toilet is not in the bathroom, it's on a different one. And I kind of like this one. Maybe I will ask for the bathroom to be a bit bigger and the entrance of the little area a bit smaller. We will see how we organize it. But I find it interesting. It's just like the bedroom has only one window. I don't know what you think, but and the bed is not facing the windows. The windows are on the side. I don't know. I need to ask for both presentation, and we will see. So you understood that the video was very crucial because we are at the moment now when we choose, we take all the decision for the organization of the interior of the house, the châtelet, and it's going to be that way for the next generation. Thank you, à bientôt. And please tell me if you have any comments, it's now that needs to be done.